So I would like to welcome you to the Ormsby Educational Center. My name is Dave Wagner. I have the privilege of being the principal here. This is one of my more fond days, very exciting days for the students, the families, the instructors, and also the employers and the military representatives that we have here today. The purpose is to recognize students that are leaving our programs after 2 years in their career tech program and have committed to being employed directly from their internship, or they work somewhere and are staying within the field that they had their trade, or also enlisting in the military. I'm excited to recognize each of these students and their accomplishments and their very bright futures ahead. I personally take pride in the students who are committed to continuing on in the field and representing our country for the military. So this is our third annual Business and Military Signing Day, and each year it grows every year. We also do a college signing day, which we had yesterday, where students who are leaving our programs and majoring in a program at a post-secondary institution, and a very similar. But this one I do take a lot of pride and fond in to recognize the students that are leaving our programs to continue their employment and also represent our country. I'd also like to personally thank all of the representatives from the military that take time out of their day to get here, as well as the employers. I know it's not as easy for the employers to take time away from their company to be here, but we do truly appreciate it, and I know the students and instructors do as well. I'd also like to recognize all of the instructors that are here to recognize these students as well. These instructors have been instrumental the last 2 years. They have molded, supported, and guided these students in continuing their passion and their trade and getting them ready for their futures ahead. So each of these students, as I said, have a very, very bright future and are bound to do great things. Before we do begin with the student recognition piece, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker here. He is a strong advocate and supporter of the Ormsby Center and Career and Technical Education. He has been a longtime business partner with Ormsby, who has taken on countless student interns, and also last year created an advanced internship placement program for students that excel in their program and go work with him for 4 weeks rather than coming here to get some extra skills in the professional field. I would like to introduce Mr. Joe Purcell, who is the owner of the Diversified Controls and Systems in East Aurora, who again has been a longtime advocate of the Ormsby Center. So please welcome Mr. Purcell.
Thank you. Well, this is a very special event, and as Dave mentioned, we've been involved in the internship program for quite a number of years. As a manufacturer of custom metal products, we realized years ago there was a shortage of skilled and trades in the manufacturing sector. And so when Ormsby introduced their internship program, we saw the advantage that we could participate and have interns be prepared for their entry level. So our program involves the various different steps in the manufacturing, in addition to what they learned at Ormsby. And after the completion of their internship at our facility, we asked them to write down their experience and their comments. And I think it's noteworthy, we had a recent intern from the auto body who wanted to take up welding. And he struggled quite a bit. He wasn't quite where he had to be. But I wanted to share with you his comments after the internship. And I said during my time at the, as intern at Diversified Control, I got to learn and get better at welding. I got to work with amazing people who taught me, and gave me tips to be a better welder. I can't wait to put my skills that I have learned here to pursue a career in welding and metal fabrication. It's this kind of endorsement that keeps us wanting to help support programs that Ormsby offers. So, enough about us. This is about you. We realize the skills that you have learned will advance your careers. And so congratulations. Take common-tology, for example, which I feel is a rewarding career. Think about it. They make you look good, so you feel good. How many professions can boast about that?
They do look good.
And the others in trades that you have, the opportunities are limitless. So you're going to do very well. To those who are in the military, they're going in the military. I myself was a veteran. Your experience will live for the rest of your life. And so I salute to you in going in the military. So thank you for your service. So let's not forget, the intern program would not be a success without the leadership of Dave Wagner and his staff. We've worked very closely, and they've been very cooperative. And we see this program expanding through their leadership. I want to single out one person who, behind the scenes, has been involved in the details of, and that's Ed Stenzel. Thanks, Eddie, for your 30 years plus and servicing and supporting the intern program. And finally, the achievements that you have made, it wouldn't be possible without your parents. You know, there's a stigma out there that, you know, you gotta go to college and to be successful. But your skill sets and those that they encouraged showed a certain amount of wisdom, and they listened to you. Mom and Dad, this is what I want. This is what, and they listened to you. In summary, the vocational education and career preparation has been due to principal, faculty, sponsors, parents. Without that combination, this wouldn't be as successful as it was. And so we're very fortunate to have their dedication. So thank you for your time, and good luck on your career.
All right, thank you, Joe. So, like I said before, Joe has been a long time standing partner with Ormsby, and I know there's a couple here as well. So we also want to recognize some of our industry partners that take on a lot of our students, so thank you as well. So for any latecomer that just came in, just so you have an idea of how we're going to do it, I'm going to call up the students. If their family is here, please join them up here. We do have Mr. Tishy from our Public Relations Department who will take a quick photo. After the end, if you RSVP'd, I already have your email, but I will do my best to get the photos to you if I have an email in file, or I'll ask your son or daughter to try and give me that email. So if I can't, I will try and track it down, but I will get you the photos so you can have them for your collection, okay? And then all of the representatives, either from the military or the business, and the instructor, please also come forward. So our first student that we are going to call forward, and actually I'll have the Air Force come on up. Perfect.
I got it. It starts with an A.
Yeah, we are going in alphabetical order. So the first student that I would like to bring forward from our welding program with Mr. Harding and Ms. Condell, who is enlisting in the Air Force, is Jaden Tavernier.
He was a good one, Mr. Mercer. He would have thrived in your shop. Go ahead, sign. Big fella.
Yep, counter.
Jaden, nice job. It's always hard to be the first one, so you know. All right, the next student that I would like to call out from our conservation program with Mr. Farr, who is also enlisting in the United States Air Force, is Connor Woodworth. Call forward the representative from the United States Army. The first student that I would like to call up is from our auto body and collision repair program with Mr. Drury, who is enlisting in the United States Army, is Jack Brown. next student that I would like to call forward and recognize from our cosmetology program with Mrs. Russell and Mrs. Erie, who is also enlisting in the United States Army, is Juliana Welch. Our next student that I would like to call forward from our conservation program with Mr. Farr, who is being employed at Bradley Tree Care, is Evan Fluent. Our next student that I'd like to bring forward, who is being employed at the Buffalo Veterinary Group from our small and large animal science program with Mrs. Miracle and Mrs. Beats, is Hannah Gross. The next student that I would like to call forward, who is being employed at Cielo Salon from our cosmetology program with Mrs. Russell and Mrs. Erie, is Sydney White. The next student who is enlisting in the United States Coast Guard from our criminal justice program with Mr. O'Brien is Daniel Sullivan. The next student that I would like to recognize, but I was told is not here today, but I would still like to recognize him from our auto body and collision repair program, who is being employed at JPR Enterprises, is Ryan Reimers. Our next student that I would like to bring forward, who is enlisting in the United States National Guard from our criminal justice program with Mr. O'Brien is Dylan Schultz. Next student, also from our criminal justice program with Mr. O'Brien, who is enlisting in the United States National Guard, is William Yan. Next student, who is enlisting in the United States Navy from our criminal justice program with Mr. O'Brien again, is Cassie Spitz. Next student also enlisting in the United States Navy from our criminal justice program is William Boyle.
Okay, Clippers versus cosmetology.
Our next student that I'd like to bring forward, who is being employed and also intern there at, is going to Northeast Collision. I would like to call forward Dylan Breezer from our auto.
Sir.
Our next student, also from the Auto Body and Collision Repair Program with Mr. Drury, who interned at the Orchard Park Department of Public Works and is being hired there, is Logan Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
And our last two students who I would like to call forward, the first one being employed at Joe Basil Chevrolet from our Auto Tech program with Mr. Soteric is Matthew Frost. Is Mr. Soteric? You'll get his thank guess. And our last student, who is being employed at Robert Basil Buick GMC Cadillac from our auto tech program with Mr. Soteric, is Mitchell Morris. So that concludes the recognition of our students. Afterwards, you are more than welcome. The students, the parents can come up and get some photos. Again, I would like to recognize all the students for your hard work, and the students that are going out into the military. Greatly appreciate your service to our country, and we thank you. For the members from the military branch and also the employers that came out to recognize these students, I truly do thank you. I find this event, it's intimate, it's small, but it's a great recognition of the students and what they're going to accomplish in their lives. So thank you again.